Hi friends! Today I wanted to talk about self-esteem. And I just was reading this little thing where it was talking about 600 people that they surveyed and they asked them what is their most difficult personal problem. 75% of them came back and said lack of confidence, so lower self-esteem. And I took a really quick definition just so we're on the same page of a working definition. So it's a noun. Self-esteem is confidence in one's own worth or abilities, self-respect. Okay, so just so we're making sure we're kind of all on the same page. Now back to the survey, and again, not a scientific study, but 75% is pretty high, but on the other side, I think we all can relate. And even if it was 10% or 5%, that's still a good reminder to us that we all want to be working on our self-esteem and our self-worth and our self-value and our self-love every day. That's important, okay? That's really important. And the good news is once you decide to start working on your self-esteem, you don't need anyone else's permission. You have all of the power. So that's the good news. So first things first, remember that from the ages of 0 to 7, you're a little kid, right? And you're running all around and your subconscious is absorbing all the information from your environment, from the people you're around. As you start going to school, all the kids at school, as you're starting to watch TV and medias, everything you're absorbing and digesting and sucking in from that, you're believing it, you're taking it all in. Your subconscious mind is open and it believes everything you tell it. Okay, so that's a lot of times where most of us get our beliefs from. So the first thing you want to do is you want to recognize if you have any negative beliefs, anything that's detrimental to you or not positive for you. Once you recognize it, that's going to be key, because a lot of times we're just on this autopilot and we don't know why we're doing it. We never took the time to stop and think of why are we doing what we're doing, or what is this belief that we have that we're holding. I like Laird Hamilton's quote where he says, make sure your worst enemy doesn't live between your own two ears. Okay, make sure that voice in your head is not against you. It has to be your biggest cheerleader. It has to. So the first thing, identify that negative belief. Second, ask yourself where you got it from. If you got it from kids at school or bullies or your siblings, your parents, your teachers, people of authority, kind of find out where you got that belief from if you can. It's just kind of helpful because then you can look back at it and say, I reject that belief. I no longer want that, and I'm going to replace it with this. And even if you somehow gave yourself that belief, but it's kind of a good in the process to identify what the belief is and where did it stem from? Where did it come from? It's kind of easier to break that belief and say, no, I reject all of that, and this is what I believe now. The third thing is once you've identified it, you can start working on reprogramming your subconscious mind. And there's a lot of information on how to program your subconscious mind. And again, the good news is you don't need anyone else's permission to work on your self-esteem. So a couple of different tricks, remember, is between your conscious state and your sleeping state is that groggy sleeping state. So in between being awake and being sleeping is that groggy state. So right before you're falling off to sleep, that's when you want to give yourself your affirmations and your visions, and you want to feel it and believe it of the life you want to live. And again, right when you start feeling yourself waking out of that groggy state, and before you're awake, you want to start going through all of your affirmations and visioning and feeling and believing what you want your life to be, and set your day. Another trick too is when you're driving. A lot of us drive and we don't even realize how we got there because a lot of it's on autopilot. Now you want to make sure you're paying attention to traffic, but you can stick a sticky note or have a card with your affirmation and say it out loud to yourself as you're driving. Say it out loud, and start feeling it as true and believing it is true. Okay, those are kind of little tricks that you can do to start getting it more as a thought in your life. And okay, so back to self-esteem. So let's take, for example, makeup, right? There is a lot of media and advertising and magazines and television telling you that you should look a certain way, and they make you feel if you have an insecurity, or they give you an insecurity. And if you buy it, then, if you believe what they say, you make that, oh yeah, I can't look like this, I can't look this way. Now, I do wear makeup. I wear makeup for fun. I wear makeup when I'm getting dressed up. So I'm not pointing my finger at makeup, but I'm saying If you're wearing makeup because someone made you feel insecure, question that. Because the bottom line is someone has something to gain if they can make you feel insecure, if they can mess with your self-esteem. I'm very comfortable in my own skin. I'm happy in my own skin. I love me. So I don't wear a lot of makeup. And it's not because I think makeup's bad. Again, I wear it for fun. I wear it when I get dressed up. I don't wear a lot of makeup because if I'm going to go to the beach, it's just going to wash off. If I'm going to do lots of yard work, it's just going to sweat right off. There's a lot of reasons I don't wear it. So don't think I'm pointing my finger at makeup. A lot of people wear it for fun and for art. Like, they are very talented. Yay for those people. But question yourself, if you're doing something for insecurity reasons, if someone gave you a belief and made you lower your self-esteem because you need, or you think you need to look a certain way, question that, because they're usually doing it for profit. So take a step back and ask yourself, what does this person or this company gain by me feeling this way? Who benefits from me feeling this way? What is in it for them? Okay, those are great questions to ask yourself. And then on that same thread, right? Ask yourself, what is in it for me? What do I want from you? Because everybody kind of wants something from you, right? And not to make anyone paranoid, but in this day and age, a lot of people want something from you. What I want from you and what I want from all people is I want people to think, okay? I want people to value themselves and not just believe everything that they see or hear. I know that once everyone values ourselves and we have self-worth and self-esteem and self-love, I know once you have that, you're going to be more selective of what you let into your peace and your calmness. You won't be so knee-jerk reaction to believe everything that you see and hear. And the more happy, self-confidence people that we have on the planet, the better. The better for me, the better for all of us. We're all connected. And even if someone isn't my favorite, I want them to have, and I choose not to spend time with them, I want them to have good things in life. I want them to have joy in their life. I want them to have good self-esteem. And you may have noticed and you remember some of the bullies at school or people over the course of your life that have been the ugliest and the meanest. They have had some huge insecurities and they have an unhappy life at home. And so why do you think they go out into the world and pick on other people and make people feel less than? And so the problem is, if you believe them, if you believe their venom, if you believe their lies, then you're continuing to do their destructiveness and their dirty work for them. And so that's where you have to cut out all of the lies and all of the things that are not true and all the negativity. You have to identify that you are the one now putting that voice in your head. You got to get rid of that and fix your self-esteem and work on your self-esteem every day. Talk to yourself, look yourself in the mirror, be your best friend. Call yourself on your BS too, but be your best friend and cheer yourself on and know that you can do it and you can have whatever you want and you can keep striving for it. And remember Robin Williams, you wouldn't let assholes live in your house. Why let them live in your head? So again, don't let negative thoughts live in your head rent-free. So keep all of those things into consideration, but every one of us should be working on our self-esteem and our self-love and our self-care every day, because it benefits not only yourself, but everyone around you and eventually the whole world. We're all in this together. We're all connected. We're all one. So I am sending everyone much peace, love, and light. Happy Father's Day 2020. And do something today that your future self will be thankful you did, and have a super fantastic day.